What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are preparing physically, mentally, and spiritually for the dark times that are ahead of us. And I hope you guys are getting right with God and staying strong. Got some more important information to share with you guys today. And I know this is something that I haven't talked about in a very long time. Like it's been like about, I believe, 2 or 3 months since I've talked about this topic relating to this plan, relating to this agenda. But I'm seeing more things coming out about it. I'm seeing more stories coming out talking about this whole thing. And I feel like it's important for people to understand what the bigger picture is behind all of this and what the agenda pretty much is. And it's pretty clear what the agenda is with this whole thing, but it's already been pushed. It's already starting to get implemented. And they've already got everybody comfortable with sitting back and getting stimulus payments and, not having to work and whatnot, right? And I totally understand why people don't like working, but they've been getting people comfortable with just sitting back and getting used to just getting payments in their bank accounts without having to do anything, right? So I'm gonna get right into it right now. I have two different articles to share with you guys today. But understand, folks, that universal basic income is pretty much on the horizon. And if you hear anybody in the background right now, it's family members. But yeah, universal basic income's on the horizon and it's already being pushed for. And eventually, we're going to be having a digital currency system where it'll come to a point where if you don't comply, if you don't do what you're told, if you do something that they don't like, they're not going to be sending you any payments. It's just going to come to a point where you're just going to be weeded out of society if you don't go along with what you're told, pretty much. So that's why it's important to become as self-reliant as possible. It says monthly child tax credit payments will start going out July 15th. Here's what to expect. And if you look this up, you'll see there's a lot of different stories coming out talking about it. It says the families of more than 65 million children, 65 million children will start receiving enhanced child tax credit monthly payments of up to $300 on July 15th. The Biden administration announced Monday. And I mean, to be honest, that's really nothing compared to or that's really nothing with all this inflation that's continuing to get worse. That's going to continue destroying the value of the dollar. It's going to pretty much continue ruining your purchasing power. But even if it was like I made a video a few months ago talking about how it was like something like $3,600 for the child tax credit thing, but I think though that's for like the people who are younger than 6 years old. But at the same time, there's a bigger agenda behind this, and people might think of this as a good thing. They might think, "Oh, this is such a good thing." Like, you can take advantage of things like this, but at the same time, you gotta understand that eventually it's gonna come to a point where you're not gonna be able to do anything if you pretty much don't accept this agenda, and if you just don't accept the entire NWO as a whole. So, that's what it's gonna come down to, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, if you wanna get paid through your digital wallet, if you wanna get paid in your bank account, you have to get this thing in your arm, you have to do this and that, or else you're not gonna be getting money." That's what it's gonna come down to, and it's already starting with the jobs, telling people, "Oh, if you don't have your proof of the you know what, then you're not gonna be able to work here," right? It's gonna be the same thing with the bank accounts and same thing with being able to shop too, right? So So yeah, I just kind of got off topic right there, but I just wanted to put that out there again. It says the temporary benefit, um, which will be sent to 39 million households and covers 88% of children in the U.S., stems from the Democrats' 1.9 million trillion dollar C-19 rescue package. The vast majority of families will receive the funds via direct deposit, while the rest will get checks or debit cards in the mail. It says temporary benefit, keep that in mind. But what this is doing is it's gonna get people more comfortable with universal basic income. And they're already starting to do that right now with all these stimulus checks. It's not this UBI thing is still not implemented yet, obviously, but they're trying to right now, like we're in like a phase of where they're trying to get people comfortable with it, and they're trying to, get people on board with it pretty much. So That's what they're doing right now. The Internal Revenue Service, which the Medici family, which is still around today, they actually run the IRS, will send the payments on the 15th of the month unless it falls on a holiday or weekend through December. Eligible parents will receive $300 a month for each child under age 6. I believe I've seen another article. It was from Zero Hedge. It talked about $3,600. I've seen many other articles that had different amounts, um, but who knows? Either way, you guys already understand that this is about getting people on board with UBI, regardless of how much the money it is. $300 a month for each child under age 6, and $250 for each one's ages 6 to 17. To reach low-income households that don't typically file taxes, the agency is setting up a portal to allow them to submit their information. This will allow them to claim both the enhanced child tax credit and stimulus payments they might have missed. A similar online form existed last year to allow low-income Americans to receive the first round of stimulus checks from March 2020 relief package. Meanwhile, the IRS will also launch a portal to allow parents to update their address, bank account information, and family size, as well as opt out of the monthly payments in favor of receiving the tax credit as a lump sum next year when they file their return. So, and you guys already know, hold on, find the word. Um, these things right here, you guys already know this whole thing is a scam. It's all about robbing your wealth. And that's what they're going to continue doing, robbing you of your wealth. They're never going to stop doing that. Um, Oh, here it is. It mentions $3,600. It says it right here. Hold on. This is the article that I'm reading over. It just mentioned it. But I actually went on Zero Hedge earlier and I noticed that they actually talked about it too. It says under the American Rescue Plan, families can receive a credit totaling $3,600 for each child under 6. Yeah, so apparently, according to this website, that's what it is, and other websites that I've read over too. But like I said, regardless of how much it is, you already know what the agenda is. Each child under 6 and $3,000 for each one under age 18 for 2021. This is up from the current credit of up to, and here's the thing too, I just remembered this too. I just made a mention of this, but you can take advantage of things like this because if you're in a situation where you're getting just free money and you're getting payments without having to do anything, you have to take advantage of things like that and put that towards things that'll help make you become more self-reliant. Put that towards more preps, making more preparations for what's coming. You know, these are the types of things that you have to really take advantage of as much as possible because eventually you know what it's going to come down to. Eventually it's going to come to a point where you're going to be weeded out of society if you don't accept the you know what agenda, and pretty much if you don't end up going along with what you're told and doing what you're told, and if you do something that they don't like and whatnot, right? That's what it's going to come down to eventually. So with things like this, you have to take advantage of it as much as possible. Um, you can um, you can get gardening seeds. You can stock up on supplies easily. And I know prices of things are going up, but you have to take advantage of things like this as much as possible to get those things that you need. Whether it's food and water, which are the most obvious, but you know, get things like cleaning products, stock up on cleaning products, because guess what? If there was a grid down scenario, being able to clean yourself is just as important as being able to eat. And because if you can't sanitize, if you can't clean yourself, you know, that'll cause some very bad illnesses. And I believe you can even, I'm not even going to really get into too deep into that, but that's just common sense as well. But it says that this is up from the current credit of up to $2,000 per child under age 17. The enhanced portion of the credit will be available for single parents with annual incomes of up to 75K, heads of households earning 112K, and joint filers making up to 150K a year. The package also makes the tax credit fully refundable so that more low-income parents can take advantage of it. Until now, it has only been partially refundable, leaving more than 20 million children unable to get the full credit because their families' incomes are too low. Lawmakers also wanted to make it easier for parents to use the funds to cover their expenses during the year. And also keep in mind about this too. I'm going to get into the next article, but this agenda, this also has absolutely nothing to do with helping you out. This is about getting you to accept or getting you more comfortable with the idea of just sitting back and not having to do anything to to get paid and do what you want to do, right? And get what you need to get. They're trying to get you comfortable with things like this so that you end up accepting the UBI agenda, the universal basic income agenda, which is already being pushed. But I'm going to get into the next article, and this is just what I was talking about. I was talking about this the whole video. Universal basic income to be tested in Wales. And guess what? Eventually, like I said, we're going to be under a digital currency system, and everything's just going to be everything, even more than what it is today, even though things are already being monitored in a through a digital system. Technically, it's not everything that's being monitored through a digital system just yet, but I mean, they do have surveillance everywhere, but still, it's just gonna be more control, you right? That's just you get the point. It's gonna be more control over your life. But it says universal basic income to be tested in Wales. A universal basic income scheme is to be trialed in Wales, meaning adults, regardless of their means, will receive a regular sum of money. Like I said, they're trying to get you comfortable with this so that you can accept the agenda. The idea is that this would cover the basic cost of living. First Minister Mark Drakeford said the pilot would see whether the promises that basic income holds out are genuinely delivered in people's lives. But the Conservatives said Wales should not become a petri dish for failed left-wing policies. Mr. Drakeford said a pilot would need to be carefully designed to make sure that it is genuinely adding income for the group of people we are able to work with. He added, it'll have to be a pilot because we don't have all the powers in our hands to do it on our own. It'll have to be carefully crafted to make sure that it is affordable and that it does it within the powers available to the however you say that word. We need to make an early start on designing the pilot to make sure that we have the best chances of operating a pilot that allows us to draw the conclusions from it that we would all want to see. So you get the point, right? They're pushing this agenda as we speak. I haven't talked about this for months, but it is an agenda that's being pushed right now, and they're already getting people comfortable with it. They're already getting people to beg for more stimulus, right? Nobody wants to work, and I get that part too because, like I said, jobs are slavery. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please share the video far and wide. And whenever this really does happen, I'm not even sure if it's actually going to start in July or not. But also keep in mind that just because I have the titles a certain way, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what I believe. I usually make my titles based off of what's being talked about in these articles and based off of just what the whole topic is. So I thank you guys for watching this video. Please share this video far and wide. And don't forget, folks, whenever this starts to happen, whenever this is rolled out, and I wouldn't even be surprised if by the time this is rolled out, they start saying, "Oh, you have to have your proof of the vax, right? You have to have proof of getting the vax if you want to be able to, participate and be eligible for this." I wouldn't even be surprised. But if that's not the case, and I know it's going to come down to that eventually, but if that's not the case for a certain amount of time, you have to take advantage of this thing as much as possible before it's too late. And even right now, you should be taking advantage of the time that you have to be getting ready for what's coming. Because as time goes on, things are going to get worse, and we're going to be under a major SHTF scenario eventually. So prepare yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. I thank you guys for watching this video. Please share it far and wide. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for the support. And I'm out now.